Is it a clone or not?
Oh, now you know going about cloning. Cloning techniques, since 1938, they've been making clone people.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back again. I hope every single one of you are doing well. You're going to need to fasten your seatbelts for this one because the Jim Carrey rabbit hole is about to get deep. It's about to get deep and dark. We're about to delve into a rabbit hole that not only involves Jim Carrey, allegedly, but a number of other celebrities as well. So I guess we'll start with this right here, published by this guy called Sean T. PV Sean, got various different content, a few things that I do want to bring to your attention. But for now, I want to bring our attention to what's being said on this tweet. It says the real Jim Carrey was cloned on Epstein's Island, according to a bombshell claim made by a family member. So he is saying that a family member is claiming Jim Carrey's been cloned. According to his cousin, Carrey was dying of Carew and became erratic. And after excessive consumption of that's why the elite replaced him. Oh man, I don't know what's going on here, but this is about to get extremely conspiratorial. Now, as we can see here, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Jim Carrey that we know.
Everybody's a hypocrite because everybody's imagined themselves standing there with his head. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe at least half the country. You know, we're in a tough spot. It's a very, very divided world, and those on I guess you'd call it the left side. I just call it the sensible side. Is, you know, we're sitting there watching this nonsense happen. And
he's come out and said things that are extremely controversial, but it just doesn't make any sense how we get a Jim Carrey looking like this to this guy. Who the f is this?
Oh my gosh, Ange Malaver was off the hook. I mean, I can't believe he committed to doing all that.
Like literally, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really struggling to understand how they feel they can finesse the public like this, like we wouldn't notice. All right, so this is the article, ladies and gentlemen. The headline of this one says, Jim Carrey's family admit he died of Carew. Carew is some form of disease. And then he was cloned by Bill Gates on Epstein Island. Oh my God, this is the wildest. So it goes on to say here, his cousin has stepped forward, someone who has known him since childhood, and revealed that the real Jim Carrey was cloned and replaced by the elites. It says here in quotation marks, this new version of Jim is entirely different to the old Jim. According to the cousin, the once erratic, fast-talking comedian now appears measured and restrained, avoids improvisational risks, and struggles to recall shared family memories. Wow. And it's still alleged, ladies and gentlemen. Don't know how true this is, but it's being published by the People's Voice. He insists the contrast between the real Jim and the new Jim is unmistakable, describing the current version as polished but emotionally distant. And that describes what we see very, very well. He definitely didn't come across like the Jim Carrey we know. His cousin reveals Carrey was never the same after his girlfriend died in suspicious circumstances. It says here that Jim Carrey's girlfriend, Catriona White, died by suicide in 2015 from a prescription drug overdose. She was an Irish makeup artist. After her mysterious death, Carrey began spending more time with Courtney Love, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Jeffrey Epstein. Now, this is where it starts to get interesting because the same guy that published this article has this tweet with over 28,000 likes on it, published only 2 to 3 days ago. It says Hollywood star Leonardo DiCaprio has scrubbed his social media as millions of users are demanding his arrest for eating. Wow, absolutely crazy. And it's not only Leonardo DiCaprio, ladies and gentlemen, there's a number of names being mentioned. It says here in the past 24 hours, users flooded DiCaprio's posts with slogans like arrest the cannibal. But what's extremely interesting is the cousin, this alleged cousin to Jim Carrey, is claiming that Jim Carrey began to speak of his meat-only diet. Now, according to the cousin, the real Jim Carrey was lured to Little St. James under the guise of philanthropy talks with Bill Gates, You know, and there's some rumors about, you know, this type of behavior happening with other celebrities as well. Epstein was not on site, but the island's underground cloning labs, funded by the same Microsoft billions that bought influence everywhere else, were still humming. These are some wild allegations, ladies and gentlemen. But it goes on to say here, the cousin claims Gates himself was there during Kerry's visit, and he suspects the original Kerry was retired in the most permanent way possible. This is crazy. Why though? Why? After returning from the islands, Jim was never the same. It's like they downloaded the mannerisms but forgot the soul. That's crazy. It says the real Jim Carrey tried to blow the whistle on the as long ago as 2017. And here's an article from December 27th, 2017. Headline, Jim Carrey, Hollywood elites eat Christmas. Wow. Never seen that before. This is getting extremely spooky, ladies and gentlemen. We have to be honest. Kerry warns that Hollywood elites eat Christmas and the dark forces are engaged in a battle for America's soul. And the outcome of this battle will have long-lasting consequences for the whole entire world. The clone was sent out to make sure no one ever listens. Wow. The final message from the cousin is chilling. He says, they got Jim. They're coming for the rest of us. And Bill Gates still walks around like he's saving the world with vaccines while his real hobby is playing God in underground laboratories. Now, like I said, this is extremely conspiratorial and a number of people out there will believe this as 100% facts, but again, it's all alleged. We don't know if this is true. We don't know if this is fake. We don't know. We are just speculating at this moment in time. But as we can see, ladies and gentlemen, this isn't a Jim Carrey that does Botox or facelifts or is trying to transform his look in any type of way. That looks exactly like the Jim Carrey that was playing The Mask. That looks like exactly the same Jim Carrey that was in Dumber and Dumber. This guy, who the hell was he? Who is he? This is not Jim Carrey, man. This is a man in a clown costume. But let's switch over and end on this video right here, diving into the whole cloning situation, because I can't wrap my head around what the cousin was just talking about. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So we're going to watch this video to see if it's going to give us a bit more insight into this whole cloning situation. But we are going to be back to delve into the whole human shenanigans. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. Guys, you don't want to go anywhere. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if we're newly watching, and let's get into it.
I don't get jealous of other girls because I was raised in a cloning lab to be the perfect woman for Hugh M. Hefner. So other than the fact that my IQ is probably a little higher than he would like, I have nothing to worry about.
Is it a clone or not?
Oh, now you know going about cloning. Cloning techniques, since 1938, they've been making clone people. There's 8 countries making clones. I have a doctor friend
but
and
I
all
wanna
he
know
does
where
is treat the clones.
I'm very, very pleased to announce that the first baby clone is born. She was born yesterday at 11:55 a.m. in the country where she was born. So this will not give you more details about the location. She's fine. We call her Eve between us. You knew that, of course. Some suggested it, and I thought it was a good idea, actually. You won't have the right.
It's mad, like, based on what she just said there, they are really trying to play God.
A friend of mine named Sophia Bridget, who's currently being faced for trial, criminalizing the act of Dardanizing, I think it is, which is like breaking the law of cloning someone.
Wait a minute.
Wait,
please dive into that.
So you know somebody that privately cloned another person?
Allegedly, I can't say that she did.
Well, allegedly.
I can't say she did or did not because the case is still open. She's 63 years old. I've been knowing her for about 8 years now. She's a part of a movement called the Rayleigh Movement, and they're the founders of Clonaid, which is what she works for. Allegedly, they say that she cloned a girl named Eve about 11 years ago, and that's what they're trying to trial her for.
So is it like a machine or like how does...
It's not even capping, because the clip we just heard prior to him was the lady talking about the baby that they cloned and they called her Eve. Oh my God, what are we listening to?
I mean, I know it's not you, but I'm just saying you know more about it than I do.
Well, it's recreating the synthesis of DNA, so
I'm pretty sure, sorry, this is the guy that claims he was also cloned.
It's the exact same genetic structure as anything else would be. It's hard for people to wrap their mind around it because of consciousness and a soul, right?
Right.
So some people who don't want to see past that then are like, well, what is it?
Human cloning is real, and it's been going on for a very long time.
It's the cloning of a human being.
In human cloning.
Human cloning.
Ban human cloning. And I'm taking further steps to prevent human cloning.
Those clips are from the 1990s when the government held hearings about human cloning. But it goes back way farther than that. In the 1970s, Dr. Landrum Shettles was known as the clone doctor. He said that cloning was, quote, easy to perform, and that was 50 years ago. James Watson, the scientist who discovered the DNA molecule, wrote an article about human cloning for the New Yorker magazine in 1971. He warned that human cloning would be possible soon and would severely disrupt our society. Throughout the 1960s and 70s, human cloning was covered everywhere in magazines and newspaper articles. And so many leading geneticists were quoted that it wasn't a matter of if, but when human cloning would happen, if it wasn't being done already. So if human cloning was described as imminent and easy 50 years ago, just what's being done now?
It's now possible to clone humans. What's more, there are doctors ready and able to do it.
What they're telling us, Britney is another victim, an MK Ultra clone. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, I'm extremely skeptical, although I agree that the Jim Carrey, this fake Jim Carrey that they're putting in front of us, isn't the same guy. It isn't the same guy. This has to be some type of impersonator, another actor, just some fraud. Jim Carrey just couldn't be bothered to jump on a plane, fly over to Paris to collect some dusty award, so he sent some fraud instead. I don't know. I need those thoughts. I need those comments down below in the comment section. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Do subscribe to the channel if we are newly watching. Turn those notification bells on. Plenty more videos uploading. But in the meantime, hit the like button. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.